You ever wake up one day and realize things don't feel the same anymore? The food you used to crave doesn't excite you. The hobbies you once loved feel dull. The people you used to laugh with now drain you. Even the goals you once chased with fire suddenly feel pointless. It's a strange kind of emptiness, not dramatic, not painful, just hollow, like life lost its color and no one told you why. And here's the part most people don't understand. This shift doesn't happen because you're broken. It happens because you're changing. There comes a moment in every person's life when the old sources of joy stop working, not because life got worse, but because you outgrew the version of yourself that used to find joy in those things. It's like wearing clothes that no longer fit. Nothing is wrong with the clothes, they're just too small now. And what you're feeling, this loss of joy, this strange numbness, it's not the end of your happiness. It's the beginning of a deeper one. Your soul is quietly pulling you away from what no longer aligns and redirecting you towards something you haven't discovered yet. Most people don't realize this, but joy has seasons. There are joys meant for childhood, joys meant for adolescence, joys meant for early adulthood, and joys meant for who you are becoming right now. But when a season of your life is ending long before you consciously accept it, your soul begins detaching first. That's why the things you used to love suddenly feel empty. Your soul already knows those things won't nourish you anymore. It's like outgrowing a home you've lived in your whole life. You try to walk through the same rooms, sit in the same corners, do the same routines, but nothing feels the same. Not because the home changed, but because you did. And here's the painful truth. Most people don't lose joy because life stopped giving. They lose joy because they're still trying to drink from wells that have gone dry. When the soul evolves, old joys collapse, old motivations collapse, old desires collapse. It feels like loss, but it's actually clearing space for a deeper joy, one that isn't based on distraction, validation, or habit, but on alignment. Here's something no one ever tells you. When nothing brings you joy anymore, it doesn't always mean you're depressed. Sometimes it means you've become disconnected from yourself. You've been living on autopilot for too long, doing what you're supposed to do, being who you're expected to be, carrying weights you never asked for, and eventually, the soul gets tired of being ignored. So it shuts down your old pleasures not to punish you, but to get your attention. Because when you've drifted too far away from who you actually are, joy can't find you. Not because joy left, but because you left yourself. Think about it. You can be surrounded by friends and still feel empty. You can achieve everything you thought you wanted and still feel nothing. You can fill your life with noise, entertainment, stimulation, and still feel numb. That numbness is not the absence of joy, it's the absence of you. Your soul is whispering, come back, slow down, reconnect. You can't feel joy while living a life that isn't yours. And until you listen, everything that once made you smile will feel strangely muted, as if life turned the volume down and you're not sure why. This is the part most people completely misunderstand. When nothing brings you joy, it's not because life is empty, it's because you've outgrown the level of life you're still trying to live. Your soul is evolving, but your environment, habits, and relationships might still be tied to an older version of you. And whenever your inner world upgrades before your outer world does, you experience a silent collapse. The conversations feel shallow, the work feels meaningless, the people feel distant, the routines feel suffocating, the distractions feel exhausting. It's not burnout, it's not boredom, it's not losing interest in life, it's energetic misalignment. You're becoming someone your current life can't support anymore, and that mismatch creates a quiet spiritual fatigue, a heaviness you can't explain. Nothing feels joyful because nothing around you matches who you're becoming. Your soul is trying to pull you toward a new chapter, but you're still holding on to an old one out of habit, fear, or familiarity. This is why joy disappears before transformation arrives. It's the soul's way of saying, where you're going, these old pleasures can't come with you. And once you understand this, the emptiness stops feeling like failure and starts feeling like preparation. One of the most misunderstood truths about life is this: joy isn't supposed to follow you everywhere. You're supposed to grow out of certain joys. When a child stops enjoying their old toys, no one panics. No one says, something is wrong with you. We understand they're maturing. But when adults outgrow the places, people, and pleasures that once mattered, they think something is broken. No, you're just evolving. And evolution always feels like emptiness at first. The friends you used to laugh with, your soul has outgrown the level of connection they can offer. The goals you used to chase, your spirit knows they no longer reflect your real purpose. The entertainment you used to drown in, your mind is craving depth now, not distraction. The life that used to feel comfortable, it's too small for who you're becoming. Of course, the joy is gone. Joy isn't designed to stay in places where your future no longer lives. You're not losing joy, you're simply being pulled away from what was never meant to carry you into your next chapter. And that detachment feels like numbness only because you're in the hallway between who you were and who you're becoming. It's transition masquerading as emptiness. Another reason nothing brings you joy anymore is simpler than you think. You're exhausted, not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Your nervous system has been in survival mode for too long. Always alert, always performing, always holding yourself together, always pretending you're okay. And when your body spends years surviving, it forgets how to feel joy. Joy requires safety. Joy requires presence. Joy requires breathing room. But when your nervous system is overwhelmed, joy becomes impossible not because you don't deserve it, but because your body cannot access it. It's like trying to feel happiness while your internal alarm is still ringing. The mind says, I should be happy. But the body says, I'm not safe yet. So nothing feels good. Nothing excites you. Nothing feels worth the effort. This isn't a lack of joy, it's a lack of regulation. Your system is tired of pretending, tired of overthinking, tired of carrying the weight of years without rest. And it finally shut down the joy circuits because they require energy you don't have anymore. You don't need more stimulation. You don't need more distractions. You don't need more goals. You need recovery, a pause, a reset, a moment where your body can exhale after years of holding its breath. When the nervous system calms, joy returns on its own effortlessly, organically, naturally. One of the most mysterious reasons joy disappears is because you're in the middle of a quiet inner death, not a physical one, but a psychological one. You're shedding identities. The version of you that cared too much about opinions is dying. The version of you that lived for approval is dying. The version of you that found joy in being needed is dying. The version of you that tolerated what drained you is dying. And here's the thing about inner deaths. They rarely feel dramatic. They feel empty, like you're watching your old self drift away, and you're not sure who you're becoming next. This in-between period, this spiritual limbo, is actually sacred. It's the space where the unlearning happens, where the ego loosens its grip, where the soul starts rearranging everything you believed joy depended on. You're not broken, you're not emotionless, you're not losing yourself, you're outgrowing yourself. And that process always feels like joylessness, because how can your old joys survive when the version of you who enjoyed them is fading? This numbness is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of transformation. You're not losing your joy. You're making room for a new kind of joy, one that matches the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. Another reason joy has faded is because the surface-level pleasures you once relied on no longer satisfy your soul. The cheap dopamine hits, the small talk, the scrolling, the temporary highs, the predictable routines, the same old conversations with the same old people. They used to be enough, but once your spirit starts craving depth, surface-level living becomes unbearable. It's not that anything is wrong with those things, it's simply that they no longer match the level of consciousness you're stepping into. You're craving deeper connections, deeper purpose, deeper conversations, deeper meaning, deeper alignment, deeper peace. And that kind of depth cannot be found in the places you used to look. So joy disappears not because life has become empty, but because you have outgrown the shallow version of joy. Your soul is asking for richness, authenticity, presence, realness, stillness, substance. This is why entertainment doesn't feel satisfying, why meaningless conversations feel draining, why old friendships feel distant, why the habits you once escaped into now feel like suffocation. Your spirit is done with the easy joy and is calling you toward the real joy. A joy that isn't based on stimulation but on connection, not on distraction but on truth, not on excitement but on inner peace. This isn't a loss, it's a recalibration, a shift from outer joy to inner joy. There's a point in life where joy fades not because anything is wrong, but because you've finally become honest about what you actually want. The truth is simple. You built parts of your life at a time when you didn't fully know yourself. Your interests were different, your standards were lower. Your priorities were shaped by who you were then, not who you are now. So the routines, habits, and choices that once fit you perfectly don't fit anymore. And here's the surprising part most people don't realize. When your life no longer reflects who you are, joy naturally disappears. You feel it in the small things first. The job you used to tolerate now irritates you. The conversations you used to enjoy now feel repetitive. The goals you once chased now feel meaningless. The places you once found comfort in now feel uncomfortable. It's not dramatic, it's subtle, like wearing clothes that technically still fit but don't feel right anymore. Joy fades because your environment, your habits, and even some relationships were built for a version of you that no longer exists. You didn't fail. You didn't regress. You didn't lose your spark. You simply changed and your life hasn't caught up yet. This is why you feel stuck. This is why you feel numb. This is why nothing feels satisfying, no matter what you try. Your mind is moving forward, but your life is still arranged around who you used to be. So of course joy feels out of reach. It's waiting in the life you haven't stepped into yet. Sometimes joy doesn't disappear because of some deep mystery. It disappears because you've been giving more than you receive for years. You've been the strong one, the stable one, the responsible one, the one who keeps everything together. And the truth is simple. You're drained, not a little tired, emotionally overdrawn, like a bank account that's been withdrawn from more times than it's been refilled. You've been handling emotional labor no one acknowledges, stress you don't talk about, responsibilities you didn't ask for, people who take more than they give, pressure that never stops, expectations you silently shoulder. When you carry that kind of weight for too long, joy becomes hard to access, not because you don't deserve it, but because you don't have the energy left to feel it. Your brain shifts into conservation mode. You stop looking forward to things. You stop feeling excitement. You stop caring about what used to matter. That's not depression. That's not losing yourself. That's the human body saying, I need a break before I break. Joy can't survive inside a person who never rests, never recharges, and never gets poured into. Your joy didn't vanish. It's simply buried under the exhaustion you've been ignoring. And the moment you start taking care of yourself again, even in the smallest ways, joy quietly starts returning. If nothing brings you joy anymore, it doesn't mean your life is falling apart. It means you've reached a point where you can't keep living on autopilot. Your mind is tired of pretending. Your heart is tired of settling. Your body is tired of running on empty, and your life is tired of staying the same. This numbness you're feeling, it's a signal, not a sentence. It's your life quietly saying, you're ready for more now. More honesty, more genuine connection, more rest, more purpose, more alignment with who you actually are, not who you were trying to be. And here's the hopeful part. Joy always returns, but it returns to the person you're becoming, not the person you're outgrowing. So if you're in this season where everything feels dull, don't panic, pay attention. Something in your life is asking to change, and it's waiting for you to choose yourself again. Because the moment you stop living out of habit and start living with intention, joy finds its way back to you naturally, quietly, and fully. If this message spoke to something you've been feeling, make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Every week, we break down the emotions people don't talk about: losing joy, outgrowing people, hidden exhaustion, silent transitions, and help you understand yourself in ways you've never been taught. So stay connected. Your story is still unfolding, and you don't have to figure it out alone. Subscribe now, and let's grow through this together.